Welcome back to For the Mamas Collective Podcast, a space where we believe in the power of connection and shared experiences.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jaleesa. We're so thrilled to have you back for our 8th episode.
This podcast has been a dream for both of us because as moms, we know just how much connection, community, and a space to feel seen and heard really matter.
For the Mamas Collective is all about creating that space, a warm, welcoming environment where mothers from all walks of life can come together to share stories, explore the highs and lows, and celebrate the journey of motherhood.
Before we dive into today's topic, let's check in with our rose and thorn, our little ritual to reflect on the highs and lows of the week.
Okay, so I'll go first. My rose this week is that I completed the 30-day yoga challenge I was talking about.
Woo!
Yes, thank you. So I feel really good about that. That doing that challenge always makes me feel more prepared and motivated to do some things. So I'm happy. I'm glad I did that. But my thorn, although I completed that, I feel like I didn't get as much cardio in as I wanted to. I tried to start like a cardio challenge at the same time to try
Mm.
to do like 2 a days, and the time. There's no time. And I'm trying not to exercise just because I'm going on vacation, but it's like, okay, the week before vacation, it's too hectic. It's too busy to have that high of an expectation of myself that I
Mm.
would have enough time to do 2 workouts. That was insanity. So I'm trying to just be okay with the fact that I did complete that part, with the yoga part, but the cardio part, Imma just have to get it while I'm on the resort. And all these other things that come along with that we'll get into later on in this episode. This is perfect timing because me preparing for vacation, I've been looking at this body a whole lot. How about you, Day? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I only made it to the gym 3 out of the 4 times that I was supposed to go this week. So,
That's good.
whoops. But
75, that's
I
good.
right. I achieved it
Yeah.
100%, 3 days this
Yes,
week.
there you go, 100%.
So pat myself on the back.
Yes.
But no, my rose this week it was simple. It was just celebrating Valentine's Day with my
Mhm.
babies. They all got a little something from me, nothing crazy. And then Chase and I, after school that evening, we baked a cake together. So
Oh.
that was fun. It was a strawberry cake with red frosting, and then we decorated it with some sprinkles and some hearts, and
Oh, that's
it was
cute.
delicious. Yes. So that was that. Now this thorn. Y'all have heard me say this before. It's nothing new. I struggle with sleep.
Yeah.
A lot. And this has been since I got pregnant with Ari. So,
Mm.
2.5 years, too long for me. But what I've found is just like by like late Wednesday, early Thursday, I'm so exhausted that I'm irritable. And
Yeah.
that's a thorn for me because that's not who I want to be in my home, who I want to show up for, to my children, to my
Mhm.
partner. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I
Mm.
thought like, okay, this
Mhm.
happened while I was pregnant, that like I'd have the baby, things would go back to normal. They didn't. I was like, okay, when we get into a flow. So,
Mhm.
needless to say, by now,
Yeah.
I thought I would be feeling better or back to
Yeah.
my old normal. But just realizing this is a new version of Danielle. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't even say nothing right now because that's we about to get into the meat, to the nitty-gritty,
Convenient,
okay?
right?
Yeah, right? So that leads perfectly into today's conversation. Today we're talking about motherhood and the body. Let's get into it.
All right. So much changes when we become mothers, physically,
Mhm.
emotionally, mentally, all of
Yes.
which we've kind of already talked about.
Yeah.
But our bodies
Mhm.
literally like create life,
Yeah.
But after birth, we're often left navigating a version of ourselves that feels completely unfamiliar. Um,
Yeah.
so, and I'll add to that even you have multiple, right? Even after the first one,
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I know what to expect. But then there's the second one, it's like, wait a minute, that wasn't the same,
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just every birthing experience is different.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
the older you get, the more it's harder to snap back. That first one, for both of us, we were young, right? So the snapback
Yeah.
was snap backing.
Mm-hmm.
These babies in the 30s. Okay. Nope. They
Have
snatched.
not been as kind.
No. They snatched all hope. That baby came out, and so did all hope of this body doing what it needed to do. So and then too, that adds into like, expectations. So again, like we're expected to just kind of accept those changes too, right? Without much conversation about it or support. I think maybe we're all just kind of shying away from the conversation. But again, it's changing now. But we think we know what's gonna happen and we think we know what's gonna work. And it just
Mhm.
never does. So let's talk about it. I got a question for you.
Okay.
All right. So, what's one thing about your body post baby, even the 2.5 years post baby, that really surprised you?
So, kind of like I hinted at, each
Mhm.
pregnancy was so different.
Mhm.
So, with MJ, I was pleasantly surprised with the way my body held the weight. Right, like I got some hips. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, okay, I can do this," because I was a pencil before him. So I was pleased with that. With Chase, I got some thighs, and I was like, that doesn't look too bad,
Yeah.
And so like I was like, okay, I can do this. But the reality of it in my 30s and with Ari and looking at, the postpartum, she's what, going on 17 months now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, the way my body's holding weight is not giving what it has in the past. And, before it was so simple, like, okay, like you eat healthy, you exercise, you do these things,
Right.
you stay active and like you'll naturally go back. But like you said, the
Mhm.
snap back just isn't snapping. I don't know. The rubber band
Mhm.
broke, something
Yeah.
happened. Um,
Yes.
as I aged and continued to have children because
Yeah.
I'm struggling. I like to this day, I'm almost at my delivery weight with Ari. And it's
Mhm.
not that I look pregnant necessarily, but
Mhm.
I can't figure out where this weight is at on my body outside of the fact
Mhm.
that I feel heavy.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Right.
it's hard to breathe sometimes. And I
Yeah.
know that's not okay. Um,
Yeah.
but like what happened?
Right. What happened?
So, and then it's like, okay, so this is just the last thing, but like, yes, it's the way our body, my body holds the weight, but you see like the memes on social media, right? And it's like, ooh, my knees buckle just looking at them do that, right?
Yeah.
It's it's just the body in general. Like everything I do now, if I don't sleep right, I'm hurt. And like I'm down for like 4 or 5 days
Yes.
hurt, right? Like
Yeah.
it's bad. Or like going to the gym, when I'm in a good flow and in a good routine, I shouldn't ache the way I do,
Mhm.
but I ache. And like I
Mm.
can't make sense of this. And it's not the same for my partner. Trey doesn't
Mhm.
feel that way.
Right.
And, it's seriously, this is the last thing, and then I'm going to turn the question back to you. We were doing a warm up this week,
Uh-huh.
and one of the exercises was jumping jacks.
Oh, no, we no.
Exact. See, so you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we were supposed to do it for 30 seconds. And I was like, I
No.
can't. And he was like, you can. It's not that
No.
hard. I said, it's not that it's hard. It's that I am about to pee on myself. Like,
Yes.
I don't have the strength to do these jumping jacks for 30 seconds. It's not that I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
Mentally, I do.
yeah.
Physically, I am incapable.
That pelvic floor is about to do its own jumping jacks outside my body.
Hmm.
It's not
Yeah,
no,
it is.
no.
And then we're gonna have to go home. Now we haven't even
Yeah.
made it through the warm up because you know
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how about you? Share with me,
Yeah.
what you've seen.
Well, you know what? Funny you talk about that sense of weakness, right? That deep core weakness, which
Mhm.
side note, add to my roles, I've been doing pelvic floor exercises for the past 2 months and
Mm.
I'ma send you what I do because it's
Okay.
helping.
It's helping?
It is helping.
Listen,
It
because I
does
was one
help.
doctor's visit away from a surgery. I'm like, "Look, what can we do? I can't." Like, I don't know.
No, it helps. So, but you got to get TikTok because it's the lady. She does the video, but it's just I only do it. Like I love to see her every time I'm scrolling, and I'm like, I should just be doing something productive. Here come her video. Like, okay, time to do your pelvic floor, and I do them like 3 times a day,
Okay.
and it's so
Okay.
easy.
So
Like you don't
TikTok.
have to, you don't need TikTok, but I'm sure she has a website you can go to. But I've
When you
definitely
finish
employed
yours,
that.
just share it
Send
to
it.
my friends, and then yeah,
Yeah,
because what I
I'll put it
can't
on
do is
for
be
the
talking on
mamas.
TikTok.
I'll put it
Right.
on for the mamas. Then as a
Okay. Yeah. We
community,
can
we could do pelvic floor
we can probably
exercises
all use
together.
it.
We can all use it. At this point, if you've had at least two, your pelvic floor is blown out. Let's be honest. It's blown out. The tire's blown out. I know we needed some repair.
Hilarious.
So, girl, so yes, so that is my rebuttal to the question is what I'm most surprised about is about how weak I feel. And like I
Mm,
have a very athletic build and it's so easy for me to feel strong. Like when I just get back into exercising, I can build muscle easily. After Sydney,
yeah.
it was so easy. Rob was saying the other day, he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember when your thighs look real good, real strong." I have hot dogs now. My thighs are hot dogs. I don't know where the muscles are. They won't come back. And it's so hard. I'm like, right. And now my core feels weak, my legs feel weak. And I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Where do I not get enough protein? What's going
Mm,
on? But I just feel so weak in my body. Like my hand strength. This is ridiculous. Robert was a dense, solid baby. My arms should be strong.
yeah.
He's 3 on going on 4 and still likes to be carried. I should feel strong. I don't. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I don't know what's happening, but the weakness is there, it's present. And we talk a lot about those changes like right after postpartum and in that recovery period you're going to feel some changes, but I don't really think we talk about how much it is extended into these years where you could
Oh yeah.
have a whole kid, 3, 4 years old, and you think you're doing what you need to do for yourself, but it's not enough. I would have to work out every day all day for me to try to get back to wherever I used to be. It's so far behind me, I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah.
It's like
You
I
know,
can't do that. I can't do what I used to do. I don't even have the time. I don't have the same time. I'm not the same version of myself. My hormones don't work the same. The chemistry, my gut health, everything has been impacted internally to where I think it impacts the muscles. And now I'm just here, bald headed and weak in the knees and pelvic floor. Like, how did I birth a human and I'm still struggling? Like, I should feel strong after this and don't.
mm,
Don't.
so that's real. That's so real. And I think a lot of us we feel like we can walk this tightrope between
Mhm.
like awe of like what our bodies are capable of. I think
Mhm.
even like other mothers, right? Like there's a strength that comes with birthing, like, and it's
Yeah.
recognized. And I think when, the fathers are in the room and they see it, that, it's recognized there as well.
Yeah.
But, so we walk this tightrope between like awe for what our bodies are capable of and what they've done, and then the grief for what
Mm.
we used to be.
Mm.
Um,
Here come
and,
grief
I think,
again. That
yeah,
grief.
yeah, grief. And I think that's a whole other layer. And it's just like the pressure to, bounce back. But if I can pause there for a second,
Mhm.
because the bounce back, it's like, you have the baby and you're glowing, oh, you look great, and da da da, and then
Yeah.
you have the baby and everybody's like, wow, you look amazing, like you were all belly or this, and it's like
Mhm.
society puts that emphasis on there. And
Yeah.
for us, we're saying things like, yeah, to you I look good, but like I feel different, like I
Yeah.
know that underneath these clothes, these legs, I'm still in the same pants, but there's a different body under here.
Yes.
And I think, we can get so lost in getting back to who we were
Yeah.
that we miss some other things. And the reason I bring that up is because you know what I dealt with MJ and Chase, but having breastfed for a year
Yeah.
with my first child, coming from a family that didn't breastfeed, I
Yeah.
didn't know much and I was young. And he was 10, 11 years old by the time I went to the doctor and ended up at the endocrinologist and realized that I had a hormonal imbalance
Mm.
due to pregnancy, to where my
Mhm.
body, like I had a higher prolactin level than a
Mhm.
pregnant woman. So my
Mhm.
body thought I was pregnant, therefore I wasn't lactating per se, but
Mhm.
like I couldn't sleep on my stomach. I couldn't lay down, and like that's hard being in
Wow.
high school because we fall asleep
Yeah.
in math class. Now I
Right.
got, stains on my shirt. Like what's going on? But I never thought about it. And I
Mm.
wasn't concerned with getting my body back to really a healthy state for
Right.
itself, because
Right.
everybody was so impressed with how slim I was after delivering a human. And MJ was a big boy,
Yeah.
right? So everybody's like, oh, he's so big and you're so tiny. And it's all great. But like, I missed that. And I lived with it
Yeah.
for 11, well, really 10 years, because I nursed him for a year, but 10 years. And then I did the
Yeah.
same thing with Chase. He was 4 before I was like, wait a minute, you've been through this. You got to fix it.
Yeah.
And so with Ari, no, I was still nursing. I scheduled my endo appointment, oh gosh, in July. Like, so
Mm.
she was a little over 6 months or something like
Yeah.
that. But I knew I needed to see him 6 weeks after I planned to stop breastfeeding, which was 6 weeks after her birthday. And I
Yeah.
already had my appointment on the books because it's too hard to get in. And I knew I didn't want to live with it. I didn't want that
Yeah.
to be a part of my new normal.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to throw that in there because yes, the
Yeah.
snapback is real, but like there's so many other things that we can deal with that just aren't talked about enough.
Right, right. And so I don't know if it's so much like the pressure to get back, but it's the pressure to it's a mental thing. It's not so much a focus on your body, but like you said, you're just not paying attention to how you're changing internally.
Mhm.
I'm putting a lot of pressure on my edges. I need my hair to grow back. At this point, I could give up on the body. I I need my hair to grow back. For me, when I had Sydney, I didn't know what was happening, and it was very like because you know me, my hair was long,
Yeah.
very thick, all the way. Baby hairs was thick, like super thick
Mhm.
hair. And so when I went through the postpartum shedding, had Tamar Braxton not had her baby around the same time and had the same issues on TV, I would not have known what to do. Like I stopped touching my hair. Like
Mm.
I would just it would just be so mad. It really was a phase. It was pretty bad. But it hurt. Like no one's telling you that your scalp is so tender and sore. And
Yeah.
it's a year or so after Sydney. I didn't know what to do with myself. And honestly, same thing with Robert. That hair barely grew back after Sydney, and now, it's going. You know, I had Robert had the postpartum shedding, and now I'm having hormonal issue
Mhm.
shedding,
Yep.
just aging, and things are just, I'm like, hey, I let the gray grow in, just let something grow, and so I think I put a lot of like pressure on myself for certain parts of me to go back. Like I'm like, okay, I understand my body's going to do some different things,
Mhm.
but I have this pressure to feel confident, and that's the thing that I'm chasing, and I don't always feel it. Like I don't want to do the work of having to be confident in myself, and it's actual manual labor to
Yeah.
look in the mirror and be like, I like what I see, because really that's not what I'm saying in my mind. And so to have to try to experience that on a day to day, it's super exhausting. Your skin changes outside of the body, the things on the body, the things that
Right.
operate the body. Like my issue is like my gut and my hair. These things are changing in such a way that I'm like, I can't, how do I get this back? Because I never had to pay attention to that. And then when my hair was like, after Sydney, it grew back, but then now it's not doing the same thing. So now again, we're at this, who am I? I'm new. I gotta bounce back, and I,
Mhm.
I don't know. So the body, I'm like, of course, I wish I was a few pounds lighter, but I'll trade pounds for follicles. you know, I just can't come off of it. I'm really insecure about that. Having
Yeah.
had so much hair and having hair for super long hair for so long and well, so that's what I got a lot of, like, your hair, your hair, your hair. Baby, I gotta cut it because it's so
Mhm.
thin. I can't keep it long. It's
Yeah.
thinning. Now it has to be short because that's a tangled mess and I'm trying to comb it and I don't have time for that.
Yeah. And I make jokes all the time. You know us. We're
Yeah.
quick-witted, pretty funny, and I
Yeah.
always joke with Trey, and like it's really whatever comes to my mouth, what rhymes, how I'm feeling right then. But I'm always like, do we have to go to the gym? Like, are you sure I can't buy like the fit and fancy package? Like, I just want to feel good and look good. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do the work required. I
Yes.
just want to buy the package. Like, come
Yes.
on.
I wanna wake up one
Uh,
day.
yeah, but it's also like we were going through looking at, Ari was gone, and when she's gone,
Mhm.
the house is just quiet, right? Like as the
Mhm.
kids get older, they're there, but they just don't require as much. And there's just like us still in the home when she's not here.
Yeah.
And so we catch ourselves like looking at pictures of the kids and going back, and we were deep. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, look at me. I was like, what is the date on that picture? Like, I was
Girl.
appalled by the way I looked in this photo. And I kid you not, it was 3 days postpartum. And I was like, you should be ashamed of yourself, Danielle. You
Wow.
know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
we can be our hardest, like our own, worst critic at
Yeah.
times. But like, yeah, 3 days postpartum, and I was pissed. I was like, who
Yeah.
took this picture? Like, why is this in here? I am
Yeah.
massive. Look at my belly. And like, I lost it. I really lost it in that moment. And that's a true story. That was like this week. So
Wow.
funny that we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
But it's I think where I'm at, and
Mhm.
this is post Ari because I'm
Mhm.
done.
Yeah.
But post Ari, I did a closet clean out last week
Mm.
because it was like I'm holding on to this stuff, trying to get back in it. My body doesn't fit. It doesn't. And it's
No.
not that I'm even buying a bigger size. It's just that like the style I need in that side has to change because again, I'm holding weight in different
Yes.
places.
Give me some
And
stretch.
yeah, and so letting that go,
Mm.
and letting go of who I used to be. I can't
Mm.
fix what my
Mhm.
body has become, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm meant to move forward, so let
Mm.
me evolve with it.
Mm.
Um, and I think that is helping. Just letting
Mm.
go of the idea that, I have to go back to who I was instead of just like embracing the new me.
Yeah. Well, I'm buying bigger sizes. Okay. I don't want to buy bigger sizes, but here I am. But you're right, though, right? Embracing the idea that I like the way you said that. Yeah, I'm not meant to go back. I
Yeah.
am meant to find some semblance of self acceptance. And because even if you did move forward in a way that felt good, or you lost some weight, or this or that, our
Mhm.
bodies are now holding things differently. Like, we could be the same size, the number on the scale could look the same. And it's just, you're not going to look the same in the mirror, and things will
Yeah.
not fit. I'm quick for give me something that stretches and make him high waisted. Thank you.
The secret, the
Yeah.
secret to the mom pouch. I am forever grateful for that. And
Yes.
some are more flattering than others, but listen,
Yes.
when you find a good pant,
Oh yes.
you buy that in every color, every
Oh
style,
yes.
and you keep it in your closet, okay?
Just do
Because those
that.
are hard to come by, but baby, I have a few.
Mm, mm,
You
mm,
can't tell me
mm.
nothing. I
Yep.
feel good every time I put them
Yep.
on. At this weight, complaining about this stomach with these big old arms,
Right.
I feel good in them jeans.
Oh yes, yes. When you have those jeans, you're like, oh, I don't care what size this is. I'm okay with it. I look, and I think that's what it becomes now. As we mature, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
can't worry about the size of this, because I promise you, I'm not going. Okay, I could get back there if I really try. It's not going to happen while my child is 3, going on 4, where
No.
I just don't have enough time for me. The way my life is set up, I have to hold some acceptance. So if I can look in the mirror and say, "Okay, girl, well, you look cute. It looks
Mm-hmm.
good. Don't worry about what size it is. Just put it on." Because trying to put
Yeah.
on too little clothes that's way
It
too.
makes you
It's
not
like
want to go anywhere.
you'll be in the house. I'll be a frump, like I told y'all last.
Yep.
I will be a frump in the house. But girl, yeah, I feel that part of reflecting on your body too. Like, this is what I looked like. 2019 was a blessed year. That I looked good. I'm mature. I'm grown. I look good. I keep going back to 2019. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That is my inspiration. At least 21 is not my inspiration. Which, whew, I didn't embrace her enough. I thought I of all of us, I always thought I was like the big one. I'm taller than everybody. I'm
Hmm.
bigger by default because all of y'all are under 5'5". Everybody's small, and here I am, James and the Giant Peach, and I'm the peach. And so, but then when LaRob was like, "You were never that big," but to me now, I'm like, I should have appreciated the
Yeah.
sixes and eights, because she's not her anymore. But that's okay. Y'all gonna get this. We gonna have to get
Hmm.
it. And by y'all, I'm talking about all the parts in my mind that's criticizing me. I'm like, hey, y'all. We got this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is what we got. Let me keep my eyebrows done around this big old face. Let me start doing some other things. But so yeah, I just love that. And I don't know if there's a way that to celebrate. I guess it looks different to celebrate the bounce back. But I think we should start celebrating the healing. I think that's what you're getting at, right? Like, I'm
Hmm.
not meant to go back, and that's a healed or healing statement to make. The superficial parts of that don't matter. If you know you're treating your body well,
Hmm.
then we have to start celebrating the healing part. But the reality is that it's not linear either, right? Like, some days you feel strong and some days you feel like a stranger in your own skin, and both are valid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you led into my next question
Yeah.
beautifully,
Oh, nice.
because, it's, we have to be honest. It's not what you said when you were like, and all of y'all are going to get that. And you're talking to, the inner
Mhm.
Jaleesa.
Mhm.
It's not just physical, right? Like the
Yeah.
physical causes us to get in our head. And now we've got like an emotional toll, right? Like there's like a
Mhm.
mental battle and a
Mhm.
struggle. We have to process all that. So like it gets like these layers, they go deeper and
Yes.
deeper. And
Yes.
so my question to you is like, how do you navigate those harder days,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
When that struggle, that what you
Yeah.
see, your reflection isn't what you want, and now you're inside your own head. What do you do there?
Yeah. You know what? I absolutely have to visualize myself stopping, right? I take a moment. I guess this is more the therapist in me, but you really take a moment and let myself say, "Okay, I hear and see all the critical thoughts," and I scoop them off the table into a trash can. I actually visualize that happening,
Mm,
and then I move forward. And for me, like I said, like, not feeling weak is my thing, and so I focus on where I feel strong. Like, I had an injury to my knee, and so I rehabbed it myself, and so I remind myself of the things that I have done,
mm,
um to bring myself back to a sense of groundedness, right? That, like, okay, this body has purpose no matter what. Okay, I've woken up today. It
mm-hmm.
functions. It
Yep.
functions well. I try to remind myself of that it has purpose, and it just doesn't have to look a certain way. It's carrying me through life to love, to nurture. And so I'm just trying to talk to myself in ways that, I would talk to a friend. I would never say the things that I say to myself to a friend. And so, sometimes you just have to say it, like, you know what? I don't have to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not ugly. Like, oh, this is so like, no, that's not true. That absolutely isn't. The criticisms aren't actually true, because beauty and size and all of this stuff is so relative, right? And for me, like, I don't want to live my life to a standard of beauty that isn't even meant for me. Sometimes I look at myself, especially my bustiness, and I have to go, okay, at some point, this frame that came from the ancestors carried something beautiful. And so I have it, right? That, like, I can access strength. Cause, like I said, I have a pretty athletic build. People make those jokes like, ooh, I built like my daddy. For me, I love that. Like, I feel like I am built and meant to be strong. And so sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm saying to myself. Like, even if you don't feel it, that's who you're meant to be. And so we have to find a different way. And so for me, really, yoga allows me to feel that strength, because it's a mind body connection. So to me, going to the gym and lifting weights, that doesn't make me feel strong, because I'm struggling
Right.
through that. But when I can move my body weight around, when I can stretch, when I can get a leg all the way up without quivering and sweating and all these things, when I can be flexible and yeah, that yoga brings me back to my center. And
Wow.
so I do those things, right? Talking to myself and then sticking to the things that I know make me feel strong, which for me would be doing a lot of yoga.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay. So for me, and I am not my best cheerleader. I will say
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Um, so if I can shout out, to the partners who support, but
Yeah.
sometimes, because I'm a homebody, I barely like to leave as it is. And so if I'm not feeling good mentally, physically, emotionally, I just won't want to go.
Yeah.
Um, and I think some things that I've done to kind of change that is just reframe it, right? So, like, if I
Mm.
know we have plans to do something and I know I don't like the way anything I have fits, then I'm going to go get something that fits that I feel good in, because that's going to set the tone for my evening,
Yes.
right? And
Uh-huh.
that plays a big part. And I think, having Trey have noticed that, right? Like, if you're not
Mm.
comfortable in your skin or in your clothes when you go out, you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And just seeing, how society embraces you when they can tell that you feel good. And
Mhm.
sometimes I don't catch that. I've never been one that was good at taking compliments
Mhm.
ever. And so, like, sometimes he'll have to pull me back and be like, did you get that? Like, they just
Yeah.
said X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, okay, but like, I don't stop to catch them.
Yeah.
um and so I think that's what it is. And those are the things that make me feel strong. Because, like you said, I can go to the
Mm.
gym, I can build muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat anyway. Like, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I get it. Like, the weight, I've got to let go of that. As long
Yeah.
as I feel good, I have the strength, right? Because that's
Mhm.
my strength is all mental. It is. It has
Mm.
nothing to do with like the actual,
Mhm.
amount that I can lift physically,
Yeah.
or carry, or whatever you want to say. Like, it's all
Yeah.
mental. So yeah, that's it. Some days, it's not about forcing myself to love my body. I could give back some of these changes
Yeah.
motherhood has given me. I would give them back in a heartbeat.
Right.
Um, I know I've shared this with you, but look, the breast augmentation, oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Why? Because I
Yeah.
got three beautiful, healthy babies who I gave my entire body to.
Yeah. Whole essence.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, everything I had.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to take that back.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's going to make me feel good. It's not about what other people think. It's going to
Mhm.
make me feel good. And not that, like, yeah, I look at my body and I don't look at it like, oh God, you are disgusting. But I don't do that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I want to feel
Mm.
good. And
Mm.
and right now I feel the joy, the sense of pride that I hold
Mhm.
for, carrying my babies and nursing them all for a year. But that's for them, and this
Yeah.
kind of goes back to what we talked about last week. But like, I got to do this for me.
Mhm.
And so I will,
Mhm.
and I vowed to do it before my 40th birthday. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout. Brand new me coming
Okay.
soon.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here. We right there. I'm rocking with you.
Yeah.
You getting some put in, I'm getting some cut off. Cause take them with you. You want me to freeze it and send you the meat down to Georgia whenever you're ready to fill up.
Listen.
Yeah, you want some Aries boob meat? I got some for you because it's getting cut off. Mine's got
Yeah.
to go. Got to go. And it's like finding. And so what you're really speaking to is putting yourself on a neutral ground, right? Of how do
Yeah.
I love myself, not what will make me love myself, and not forcing it, but like how do I at least choose not to hate and criticize and put myself down, but just be like, you know what, this is what it's going to be. Creating a goal, right? Okay, I'm gonna get this, and not being shy about wanting to do something to change yourself that's
Yeah.
about you, right? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to get mine reduced so that I can actually be active. You might going to get yours plumped up so that you can
Mm-hmm.
be out here feeling good.
Yeah.
And because I want to feel good too. I want to know what it feels like to go braless. I don't
I
know.
was just about to say that. I got a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I said, "Ooh, let me go put a
Let's
bra
put
on
a
because
bra on.
maybe y'all
Let's put a
are
bra
not
on,
cooperating."
sis. Mine. I can't. My neck skin is gonna rip off if I don't have a bra on. Like, but child, something's got to change. But I love that, just having some neutrality about self, because I do think we swing in extremes, right? Either we're feeling good about ourselves, or we're not. We're feeling strong, or we're feeling weak. But maybe we're kind of settling into a more middle ground, a neutral
Mm-hmm.
ground. Well, what does loving yourself look like? And it doesn't have to be positive, positive, positive all the time. It just has to be, hey, this is my body today. And that's okay. I'm on neutral ground. Me and you, we're going to get through the day. Me, you, all my parts, body. So I talk to all my body parts, mind, emotion. hey, this is what we got today. Did we wake up? Did we take a vitamin? Did we do
Yeah.
something? Did we stretch? Okay, so let's go. That's all we got today.
Yeah. And you know what? To me, that sounds like acceptance,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
getting to a place where we can do that. And I know, we've talked about it before. It's a really hot topic just in society on social media now,
Yes.
but self love. And I
Mhm.
think if we were to, to really talk about, which we have already in this
Mhm.
conversation, but motherhood and self love, because, loving our bodies post baby, it's not just about the body. It
Right.
really is about redefining who we are.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, I know I've felt that shift. It
Mhm.
sounds like you have you?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have certainly felt that shift. It's and I want to go back to what you said is just like mentally having that strength. That's a big difference. Self-love, self-acceptance, neutrality. It takes a certain level of mental strength. Um or an invitation to be strong in a different way. So we're totally
Hmm.
redefining how we're showing up for ourselves. So I'm 100% there with you, and I used to think self-love was just about confidence. And I mean, I had to learn that in school, and I'm telling people, it's more than that. But, it is really self-acceptance. If you can accept yourself for who you are, not even just your body, but how you speak, how you walk, how you talk, your humor, your personality. If I can accept all of my parts,
Hmm.
good, bad, ugly, and different, then I'm good, and it's a daily practice. So as long as you're doing that every day and giving yourself a little bit of self-acceptance, you're on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of that is, we always talk about it, but giving yourself some grace.
Yep.
We have to practice unlearning the idea that we have to earn love, whether it's from ourselves or from others.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big one. Like unlearn that you have to earn love, whether from
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Ooh, child. Ooh, wait a minute. That's really good. I've never
Yeah.
thought about that. All of the critical thoughts we have is currency. We're trying to make ourselves earn some love. It's not worth it. You
Yeah.
just because it's already there. We are the currency. We don't have to create it. Ooh, that's good. I hope y'all listening really take that. That's some good stuff right there. I'm shooketh to my little bald head edge core.
I'm me. Oh my god. I'm shook as to my bald head edge core. That was something.
Girl, I'm crying. Oh my god. All right, Danielle, before we wrap up, we always like to leave the listeners with something to take away for the week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So here's the challenge. This week, we
Mm,
invite you to find one way to show your body gratitude.
mm,
Maybe it's writing a thank you letter to yourself.
mm.
Maybe it's moving in a way that feels joyful. And maybe it's just looking in the mirror and saying thank you.
I love that. You know what? That makes me think of something else. Here's another one. If you catch yourself in a negative thought about your body, pause and reframe it. Instead
Mm,
of, I hate how I look, try, my body carried me through another day. For me, I'm going to be thinking about my hairline. But you know what? I actually just love my hair, whether it's
mm-hmm.
thinning or not. So when I get frustrated, when I feel anxious about that, I'm going to be saying this week, but I actually love my hair. I love the texture of it. I love that it's graying. I really love having gray hair.
Mm,
So I'm just
I'll
going to
send you
start saying
mine.
that. I'll take it. I'm going to start saying that. Like, you know what? I just love the hair that I have.
You
That's really good.
yeah. So I love that for you. And, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take this challenge as I do every weekly challenge and
Mm.
apply it to myself. And, just remembering that, one small shift in perspective can really make a difference. So as we leave you, just remember we see you, we feel you, and we are right
Mhm.
here with you.
Yes, for sure. So before we go, we want to let you know that there won't be an episode next week because we'll be out. We'll be doing some self care, some self love, some self everything. I promise y'all. On
Yeah.
that vacation, when that sun hit my body, I ain't gonna care about what it looked like. But we encourage you to take this time to catch up on past episodes if you haven't already.
Yes. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, follow, and share with a friend who might need to hear the conversation.
Yes. Do all the social media things, people. And as we always say, come as you are, take what you need. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.